Live from the Emerald City, it's the Dish with Deeva Show. Here she is, the one and only K-Cee Deeva.
What up, peeps? How y'all doing out there? This is the first Dish with Deeva show of the year. And I'm back. I took some time off and excited to be back live. And my special guest today, I couldn't think of any better way to kick off the first show of the new year. This guy is family. We go way back to college days. And he is the creator, the host of Big Bink's Breakroom, coming to you live out of Texas, Dallas, Texas. And I'm excited to have him on. Bink, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it. What's up, sis? How are you?
I'm great. I see you wearing the colors and the Langston gear. I should have mine on.
Yeah, and any chance I get to represent, the school that, literally made me who I am today, man, I definitely got to put them on. So, let your fans see about, maybe we can persuade somebody to go to Langston University or at least try it out or visit or something.
Check it out. Something. Yeah. It I got to say, like, it made a nice, nice crop of folks coming out of there back in the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm so glad to have you on. I'm just so proud of you. You've done so much, and just have this awesome career in radio and just have interviewed some really cool people, and we'll get to all that. But I'm gonna give the people a little bit of a glimpse of kind of the past and how we got to know each other. So many years ago, this little girl from Seattle. Went to Oklahoma, a place called Langston, Oklahoma, which is just outside of Oklahoma City, if you're not familiar. And Langston University, freshman. First time away from home, far away from home. As you know, I'm in Washington, so quite some ways away. But little radio station, KALU, what was it, 93.1 or 93.9?
No, not 90.7.
90.7.
90.7.
Yes, KALU. And I met this awesome, wide-eyed, great personality guy named Big Bink, we call him. And I knew you were gonna go far because you were, even then, we used to have some good times on the radio station, and then we had a TV station as well. You, myself, Anthony Brown, rest his soul, my BFF in college. Miss him. We used to have some good times up in the radio station, and we were all kids. We were so young looking back.
The thing that I remember the most about, going to Langston and being part of the communications department was we taught ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. We had instructors, and they did the classes and everything, but the radio station and the TV station was hands-on. So, thank God we had the ability to basically go up there when we wanted to. And I never forget, it was 1991. 1991, I came into the studio and you was actually on the air. Let me see, like the mic was right here. So it was turned right here where the turntable was. And, we had that wooden turntable, the Gates equipment, and you was playing. I forget what you was playing. I'm sitting like you was that day, and you was like, "Hi." I was like she spoke to me. Like I remember that because I didn't know nobody, and I don't know how I ended up there. But you was up there on the air, and I was like, because this is what I wanted to do. Like, in high school, I was the DJ and. Around the house, I did the block parties and, all of that stuff. But I started in college at Columbia College in Chicago. That's where I'm from, Columbia College. But it was part-time though. So I would do the classes, during the mornings, then afternoon, I would go to work. I used to deliver airplane tickets in downtown Chicago. That's what I would do. I worked for, what was it called? Herald Travel Service. I was the courier dude, like, and I would just walk to the different buildings, dropping off their airline tickets and all that stuff. But it wasn't until my neighbor, rest his soul, Oliver Copeland, Big Ollie is what we used to call him. He worked at Inland Steel in Chicago, big prominent company, and he was my neighborhood friend's dad. He was like, dude, you need to go away to school. Like, you know, I mean, getting on the train, going to school and going home to your mama and all that stuff and being around the same environment. It's a whole world out there. And I didn't understand what he was saying back then, but
sure.
I know if I wouldn't have went away to college, I know I wouldn't be sitting here in Dallas, Texas, you know, with this career that I've had over the last 20 plus years. So, wow. I mean, it's just a blessing, you know, to still be in it now. It ain't all been guns and, I mean, it ain't all been roses and lilies and flowers. I mean,
sure.
You know, it's a lot of stuff that we had. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that we had to learn that we wasn't taught in school. You know,
right?
We wasn't taught, like real talk. And it's good to go through it. It does nothing but make you stronger.
Yeah.
You know, but that's literally my first experience with you coming up to that station, seeing you on the air in front of that turntable, and you speaking. And I want to say Charles Hopgood was in there too. I want to say, but I'm not exactly sure. I do remember you though. I was like, man, there's a girl in here. So I was tripping.
Well, you know, yeah, that warms my heart just thinking about those days and being in that studio and the fact that we were so blessed to have the hands-on. Like, you know, I had other friends even back home who studied broadcast and wanted to do what we were doing. And when I told my best friend, I was like, oh, you know, yeah, I got a morning show and now we got a TV station. I got a show on there and da-da-da.
Yeah.
And she's like, we can't even touch the equipment. She's like, we can't even go in the studio. They have hired professionals. You know, all we get are the books. And, you know, and I was like, crazy? Wow, we were so blessed and lucky.
And you know what I think as I really think back, you know, because we had a crew of people, you know, that was in our little circle that was, you know, doing, you know, some people didn't take it as serious as we did, because I mean, we was up there all the time. Like, you don't want to do it, I do it.
We lived up there.
Lived up there in that little bitty room, and you know, again, I it's funny how everything is so digital now. Like, look at us right now. You in Seattle, I'm in Dallas, Texas, and it's like we sitting next to each other. This was unheard of. Unheard of back when we first started this. Everything was physical. It was touch. It was reels. It was that CD player. It was those gates knobs that we had to turn like that. It was the turntable. It was a wooden turntable.
I mean, you could do a whole show. I mean, as we're doing now, right? You could do a whole. I mean, now we're doing a whole show from home. But you know, back then, and I do kind of miss it. I know I sound like an old lady saying that, but I miss the physical touch of the turntable, and you know, being able to see you guys in person and sit up there and laugh and cackle. And I feel like you know, the generation now, like they miss so much of that human interaction, you know, that really kind of builds character and you know, help create us to like who we are, you know, to this day.
Absolutely. It's a whole rite of passage, if you will, that's missed right there, because everything is so right now. Here it's right now. I got it. You know, you don't have to work for it. I can, you know, all these videos you can make, and my son up there making videos and edits and stuff, and I'm like, man, I used to have to get these reels and cut this tape and splice them together, and you know, or be real slick with the tape deck and know when to hit pause and all that stuff. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I appreciate the technology though, because we have moved forward.
We have moved forward, and I mean, hey, you know, it just gets easier and easier. You know, pretty soon they'll be doing shows from spaceships and whatnot. I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, you know, I want to talk about your career. So, you know, you interviewed a lot of people, like major celebrities. What was your favorite interview? Who sticks out in your mind as a favorite interview that you've done?
Man,
I can tell you one of my favorite interviews that I saw of you. It was a long time. It was about I would say maybe like 10 years ago, but I'm still a fan of this guy to this day, is Lloyd. Whew.
Lloyd.
I love me some Lloyd.
Yeah. Lloyd is a friend. Yeah.
That was one of your that was a fun interview. You're so good at like just getting people to relax, and he was singing and doing a cappella, and you guys were joking and laughing, and I'm like, that's how an interview should be.
Yeah, because it's like I'm trying to think like, yeah, I can't even answer that question. I know me and John Witherspoon, we redid Friday. We redid the scene with Q. Yeah, we redid it. He was cool enough. This was, I don't know, maybe 16, like 2016, 2017. He was cool enough because this was on my bucket list. I said, if I ever see Pops, we call him Pops. If he, this is when I was in Ohio. If he ever comes to my station, and he was doing the Funny Bone and the Improv, one of the comedy clubs out there. But I did mornings at the time. He came to interview, and so after the interview, I was like, Mr. Witherspoon, can we react Friday? Can we react that scene? Like I've been practicing for years, and he was like, yeah, come on. And we went and we did it. So it's on YouTube. It's online somewhere. And I
gotta find that. How fun!
Yeah, I usually post it every year. Every year I post it. Especially when he passed, I post it. But it's online. And I can't remember where it's at, but it's there. But that was a real fun interview because for me, the key to interviewing is just having a conversation like we're doing it right now. You start asking those same questions, and you get the same answers, and just stuff be boring. Like, people want to know what you're afraid to ask. So ask. I mean, all they can do is say, I don't want to talk about it. And then it makes it look like the star or whoever you're interviewing don't want to keep it real.
Exactly. I love that. That's good advice. Any youngsters out there listening, this man has knowledge. Like you gotta get your little notepad out because and you're right, you're absolutely right. And people love, especially celebrities like to see them be real and be silly and just kind of let their hair down. You know what I mean? For sure.
And at the end of the day, this had to, because when I first started in this business, I would see somebody and just be like Luther Vandross came in the studio one day. This is can I take you out? Can I take you out? That Luther Vandross. That's when he was like a little bit more skinnier. Curl, quite a curl, but it still was something there.
Right.
And I turned around. He was sitting there. He's for the interview with the Midday Girl, who I was assisting at the time. But I turned around. I was like, what the
starstruck?
But at the end of the day, man, these people breathe the same air we do. They put on their pants the same way we do. So the only difference between you, us, and them is their bank account, or their stardom, or their notoriety, or their ability to be recognized. Other than that, it's like, you'd be amazed, man. It's usually the people around them that's the assholes. Themselves, it's like they regular people, man. Like it's crazy.
Speaking of real people, hello, Lady A. Lady A. So Lady A is she is a local legend here in Seattle, Washington. If you ever get a chance to interview this woman, oh my gosh, like I can't even say enough about her. She is just the sweetest, kindest person and super talented. She's our blues diva here. The real Lady A. The one and only. So thank you for tuning in. So good to see you. I'm gonna have her on my show pretty soon too. So anyway, Bink, okay, so you talked about who you enjoy interviewing with. Is there anyone that you haven't interviewed yet that you would love to get on your podcast or interview? Like for me, and it could be past or present. For me, you should know this, is Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Remember, I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. That was, he was the reason I got into this whole media realm. As I was watching Entertainment Tonight one day and said, I want Mary Hart's job. I want to interview Michael Jackson one day. Unfortunately, he passed too soon, so I didn't get to do that, but that's okay. Was there anybody that you would love to interview that you haven't yet?
I mean, I would love to have an interview with President Obama, but my interview would be a little bit different. It wouldn't be, so how was it being president? I would ask him all the things, and I've always wanted to know this. A lot of people say, our former president didn't do a lot of things for Black people. Like, he did stuff for the LGBT, did a lot of stuff for immigration, he did a lot of stuff for other nationalities. But when it came to the Black people, this is what the thought. I'm not saying this. This is what the thought is. He didn't do a lot for Black people. I don't necessarily agree with that wholeheartedly. I think there are other things that he could have did when he was in office for our benefit. But my question, one of my questions with him would be, like, what is it that you wanted to do that you couldn't do? Like, because we know that a lot of stuff that he wanted to do was being shot down by the Republicans and Congress as a whole. But when you go back in retrospect and you look like, Mr. President, what was it that you had on your bucket list, for us, people of color, that you wasn't able to do? I would ask him a question like that.
I love that. And that's what I love about you. You don't ask the kind of the standard, the questions that everybody expects. That thinking out the box.
Yeah, that's what I hate, because a lot of times when you interview these people, they give you the questions to ask. I hate that.
That's true. They do.
I hate it.
I don't like that.
When you go off script, they hang up on you. So I've been hung up on a couple of times.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about music today. So a couple things. The Grammys had to be postponed because of the pandemic. What are your thoughts on that? Because my thinking was, I thought they were going to cancel it altogether and be like, okay, we'll just try this again next year. And they postponed it. I don't know what the date is, what they postponed it to, but my initial thought is, like, let's just not do it this year. I mean, we're repeating the cycle, right? It's like we get to a decent place, and then then there's we had Delta, and then now there's Omicron, and so it's exploding, and it's when we have these big events, and as much as I love the Grammys, I love to watch it. I love to see who wins and all the performances and whatever. I'm a music girl, but when it comes to that, I'm just like, should they have just not just called it a wrap for this year? What do you think?
I mean, I think, well, see, I know, first of all, it's about money. They trying to get their money. So exactly. That's the first thing. That's why it's, they still having these football games and these basketball games and all these corporations. They got to make that bottom line is about that bread. Yeah. So people got to be entertained during this time. They got to be some type of entertainment. Sure. I like when these shows like the BET Awards and the Hip Hop Awards. Oh, I don't know about the Hip Hop Awards. Yeah, the Hip Hop Awards, where the people are there, but it's no audience. Yeah. And so you can see it, and it's still not the same. Right. But it's something. It's something to get people to tune in. Remember when Versus started coming out, Versus was people in their two locations and they would do their thing. But you remember the production end of Versus was all jacked up because none of the music was sounding right. And everybody was trying to do. You remember Teddy Riley and Babyface? Teddy Riley. Oh my God, that was a waste. That was a waste of time, wasn't it? Are you kidding me? That was a waste. That was a waste of time. But
yeah, that was too bad.
My point is they went ahead and did it because they knew people were being entertained, and it was very well watched. But there were just so many production issues, and quite frankly, when they brought the artists together, it got a little bit better. But to answer your question, I still would like to see it, but if we can just minimize the number of people involved, meaning that, just have them on stage in an empty room and make sure everybody's been tested and everybody feels comfortable around each other. And you talked about the Omicron variant. I'm a recipient of the Omicron. I'm saying I keep mixing with Omarion.
Right. Omicron. Yeah. There's a whole joke about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had it.
I'm glad you're better. You're better now, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm negative now, but I had it at 20. 20. Oh, 22. Right. So I had it worse. Like straight up in the bed worse. But this time, I'm vaccinated, and it was just like a runny nose, and that's pretty much it. So,
okay. Well, I'm glad you're better because we need you. We need you out there doing your thing. We can have you up in bed picking stuff. Let me say hey to Anthony Adams. Hey, Anthony. Anthony is my BFF and my partner in crime. We do a podcast. Do you watch 90 Day Fiance?
I do. My wife watches it too.
That's my show. So Anthony and I, we watch the show, and then we do a show on Monday night, the podcast, where we just basically kind of rip on all these crazy couples.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. He says,
"What's up, Anthony? Do they call him Tony or they call him Anthony?"
It's Anthony. He goes by Anthony. Mm-hmm.
What's up, Big Anthony? What's up, big bro?
He's actually a DJ as well. Anthony is a DJ as well. So he, COVID, same kind of thing. He had to kind of chill out for a little bit, but hopefully he'll get back to be able to doing the parties and stuff again because, COVID just threw a wrench in everything. The parties, the DJ, and all that stuff, the weddings and whatever. Other thing about the audience is performing and push the performer to perform, be creative. Look what the Weeknd did with Super Bowl. Exactly. Yeah, it's something about the in-person stuff. Okay, so who as far as performers or artists nowadays, do you have any favorites? Like who's a kind of a breakout artist in your mind? This, I'll say 2021, 2022 in the last couple of years.
Well, I mean, the people I play on my station now, I think. Well, first of all, let me say this. It's amazing that 2007, 2022, that's 15 years. Mm-hmm. In 15 years, Drake is still as relevant as he was when he was on that song, Every Girl. That's where we found out about him, on Every Girl in 2007. And in 2022, he's still as relevant. So big up him for having that consistency. I don't know too many artists that has had a #1 record every year today, but
every a couple. Year.
And I think he broke the record on Billboard for most #1s. He beat Michael Jackson on some stuff.
I heard that. Yeah, that's crazy. How do you beat Michael Jackson?
Yeah, exactly. So he's considered like an OG now, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But, I do like this Rod Wave dude. I play him a lot on my station in Dallas. Rod Wave.
What about female artists? Two of my favorites now is Doja Cat. I like her. She's quirky. She's got a different style. I like her music, and I also like Big Lotto. Do you guys play her out there?
Big Energy. Yep.
Yeah. Remember she was on that Jermaine Dupri show. She was like 16, I think, on that show.
Really? See, I didn't make the correlation. I didn't make this. Was that the light-skinned girl?
She used to go by her original name was Mulatto, and she kind of grew out of that, and she changed it to Big Lotto. That's her. Can you believe it?
You know what? I didn't even make the correlation. Yeah, she's getting a lot of airplay on.
Yeah, it's like she all of a sudden just blew up, and I saw her on TV, and I went. Of course, she looks very different now because she's a 22-year-old woman, and I'm like, wait, is the same old girl I was watching on Jermaine Dupri show? That's her.
Yeah, so it's great that she got this single, Big Energy. But my thing as a DJ and as a journalist and as a guy on radio, I just want to see what else she got. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to get there because we see a lot of one hit and that's it. But I want to see what else she got. Hopefully she got some more because we can always use new artists. To this the turnover is every year is something new or somebody new.
It's so fast. It's like 1 minute. Yeah, that you got to ride that wave as long as you can because somebody else like right behind you. Ant says, I knew that about Drake. Oh, Don Toliver. Are you a fan of Don Toliver?
Don Toliver is from Houston. He's from Houston, Texas, about 3 hours down the road.
Oh, okay.
I am familiar with his music. I played What You Need on our station, and my station is 97.9 The Beat in Dallas, Texas.
Right.
The Beat DFW.com. Make sure y'all check us out at 97.9 The Beat here in Dallas. But I did play some of Don Toliver's music, and he has a fan base. Matter of fact, he did a show down here without us playing stuff on the radio. So because of that, I wouldn't start playing this stuff because I wasn't up on him. But he has a different vibe. It's more laid back. It's more chill. It's slower. It's R&B-ish kind of. He's not an R&B singer, but his beats be R&B-ish. You know what I mean? It's like slow, like Houston, laid back. You know. So yeah, I like Don Toliver too.
Now, talk to me about so 97.9 The Beat in Dallas, in case y'all didn't get that. And then you have a podcast, Big Bink's Breakroom. Tell us a little bit about the Breakroom.
So we have a streaming platform. It's called Media Room 360. I follow that at Media Room 360. It's a streaming platform, and what me and my sister Shani does is we look for content. You know, people who make movies. We have movies on there. We have cooking shows. We have church shows. We have a morning show. And we have the podcast, Big Bink's Breakroom podcast by me and Shani Scott, ShaniScott.com. Y'all check her out. And my man, Action Jackson. So it's like in the break room at the job, you know, that's where people get together and kind of have their own sad conversations about people in the office. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If the boss tripping, you know, you can't really talk smack to the boss, but you can go down to the break room where the vending machines at, where the TV at, and you can lean on your chair and be like, man, Mr. Johnson is bullshit, man.
Right.
You can have that conversation. So that's what we talk about. We talk about things in pop culture, fashion, music, relationships. We highlight local artists in any city. I mean, in any city, anybody is local, nice. But you know, we highlight everybody from, you know, bakers to producers to people who do movies, and we just try to be compelling and entertaining. And it comes on every Wednesday, but we kind of change the stuff because, like I say, all of us got COVID within the last 3 months, and our kids are very active in sports and stuff, so we kind of have to pump the brakes. And we're just running a lot of reruns right now. But the streaming platform, Media Room 360, y'all check that out.
Media Room 360. I love it. Okay, we got a couple minutes left. I like to end with a kind of a get to know you game. So we're playing today 2 lies and 1 truth. So Bink, tell me 3 things, and I gotta guess which one is true about you.
Okay, so the first one is I actually did a solo in a music video, in a couple of music videos, but this one in particular, I did a dance solo.
A dance solo. Okay.
Dance solo. The second one is this is gonna be crazy. I found a woman who was deceased, who was actually my neighbor. I found her when I was delivering newspapers back on the south side of Chicago when I was in high school. And found her.
Found a deceased woman delivering papers. Okay.
And then the last one, I was one of the finalists who was going to be Lim in the movie Soul Food.
Lim and Soul Food. Okay. I had to think. Yeah. Mekhi Phifer's, yes. Mekhi Phifer's part. Okay.
So I auditioned for that role. And I almost couldn't make it.
So 2 of these aren't true.
Big star.
Okay, so 2 aren't true, 1's true. Okay, let me think about this. Dancing in a video. I think that's true. I'm gonna say that's a lie. And I'm gonna say that's a lie. That's a lie. Okay. All right. And then found a neighbor that was deceased, and then auditioned Lim Soul Food. You know, you're pretty talented, my brother. So I'm gonna say you did audition for Lim, because I can see you doing that. I can see you doing the acting thing, and running up on somebody that's deceased. That sounds a little scary. So I'm gonna say that's a lie. I think you auditioned for Lim.
So here's the thing: I did audition for Soul Food, but I didn't make it. But I wasn't a finalist, so that's why that's a lie. But I did audition. But I didn't make it to the final. You know, to the final read. But I did find Miss Kendall trying to get out of her house when I was delivering newspapers. I noticed her papers was piling up. And so she had the screen door, and then we had the remember the gate that used to go after the screen door that the
Oh
old people
yeah,
have in
you
their
pull
house?
it, yeah, like an accordion kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you lock that too, so you couldn't get it. You get on the gate. And
Right.
then the wooden door was behind that. So one day,
Oh
after
my
like
goodness.
the sixth paper, because I just dropped them in the door, I couldn't
Yeah.
shut the door and I was like, man. And so I knocked on it to tell Miss Kendall to come get her papers. And when I knocked on it, the door flew up. The door flew open. Miss Kendall was right there.
Oh
Right
my
there.
goodness.
So she was trying to get out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And she was older.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's
I
terrible.
never forget that. That was because I
Yeah.
delivered the papers before I went to school in the morning. And
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I told my other neighbor, I was like, hey, Miss Kendall is so it was crazy. But yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That's
wow,
definitely
what a
true.
memory. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for playing. That was a lot of fun. Good to know something about you. And see, I was close. I knew you at least audition. I'm like, yeah, I could totally see you in Soul Food. I think you should
Yeah, me
still follow
too.
that acting dream. Why not?
Well, you
Try
know
it
what?
again.
Right. Well, that's one reason why I'm trying to get my teeth fixed now. So,
Okay.
I,
Yes.
I got about another year with these on, but better late than never. You know what I'm
But you
saying?
know what? Exactly. You're gonna do it. Because then I'll have you back on to talk about whatever Tyler Perry movie you in now.
Absolutely.
All
I could
right,
be a dentist
Pam.
in a
It's
movie.
been so much fun talking to you and much continued success. Let the people know where they can follow you again.
At DJ Big Bink on everything. Just Google Big Bink. You'll see a great bulk of my career. Big Bink, B-I-G-B-I. Well, put the DJ in front of it. DJ B-I-G-B-I-N-K. Just Google that and you'll see everything.
All right, sounds good. Would love to have you back again, and stay safe out there, and you and the fam, and be well. And you guys hit me up on IG. I'm at Ms. K-Cee Deeva. That's MZ K-Cee Deeva. Don't forget the two E's after the KC. Sometimes people forget the two E's. It's K-Cee Deeva. Same thing, Facebook, YouTube. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. K-Cee Deeva shows. Just that simple. All right. All right. We'll be back next week. And you guys stay safe out there. Later.